There it is, ladies and
Recordings in
gentlemen.
progress.
We're back. And let me tell you something about what you don't understand. What you don't understand is when you need to let your other podcast member aboard and you're the host and you complain, you have to let them aboard first. Dingbats, come on. I learned that today.
I'm knocking on the door.
Before we get going and we talk about what is and what isn't, and the New York Football Jets and baseball Metropolitans and the Knicks, baby, before we get to that, we've had an upgrade from one of our sponsors.
We do. What do we got?
Irwin has sent us, ladies and gentlemen, the value size. Look at the size of the libido red here. Woo! You have enough here to do damage, as they say behind the plate. And I mean damage, baby. Listen to that. Let me think. 150 liquid soft gels are in this baby.
Wow.
Okay?
And those are the soft gels that make you not soft.
Not soft. They do what's called, well, that's a little much. They bring things to proper and grand proportions. Let me tell you something. They will be visited tonight.
Wow.
Libido red. I don't get this in the mail from the sponsors and not go right at it. I'm going at it. Okay.
Hey, speaking of going at it, we were remiss in acknowledging a milestone. A milestone. Over a year ago, what you don't understand was broke into the airwaves and took the pod world by storm.
Whoa, Podstorm World. We got
Last February.
it. It is now
The middle of March.
Oh, it's March. It's now March. Therefore, it's been almost 13 months. And the way we do things, which you don't understand, boys and girls, is we don't go by the exact this or that. We go by the feelings, the ride of life. So March is when we announced that February was the date. Yeah, that's how we handle it.
Yeah. So
Meanwhile, it is March. And while you think we'd be moving on to March Madness, it's not that mad this year. It's nobody. The problem with the college basketball, it's not that I don't like it, because I do, but nobody stays in college for more than a year or two anymore. So you can't like say, oh yeah, Carlo Anthony, what's his name?
Carmelo Anthony.
You ride with him for 4 years, you feel good. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You ride with a guy.
I'll just say this. I did a bracket because you just do one.
Do it. I probably will.
I picked Connecticut for no reason.
Not a bad pick. I would have picked Tennessee a few weeks ago, but it doesn't look like they're injured a lot, so I wouldn't have picked them now. All right, let's move on. But let's stay with basketball, okay?
You want to talk about the Knicks?
Baby. The Knicks, baby. Let me tell you something. A month ago, while we were riding a storm of wins, I mean, we were smoking teams. We smoked the Bucks. We smoked the Sixers. We smoked the Celtics. I mean, we smoked everyone. And then the smoke came down. And down went OG Anunoby. And down went Julius Randle. And down went Steiner. And down went Brunson. And I thought the whole season was over. So did every Knicks fan. Well, we're a month later. We've got OG Anunoby back, and he's back on the not playing list. Randall doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon. They do promise by playoffs, but they haven't promised anything else. Oddly enough, the one I didn't mention, who was operated on last year, Marcus Camby, seems to be the one that's going to be coming back first. Not Marcus Camby. Marcus Robinson. Sorry. Marcus Robinson is back first. Okay. A little help, please.
By the way, immense kudos for saying OG Anobi properly 3 times in a row.
How do you like that? I get him right. But I don't think I got Marcus Camby right. I believe
No, that one you definitely didn't get right.
he played a while ago.
Quite some time.
Okay. So who's playing now?
Not Marcus Camby.
And
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. That's the guy. Marcus Camby, Mitchell Robinson sounds similar. So
Very.
Our superstar center, who was being rising, what's the word for it? Whose replacement was doing magnificently, Hartenstein, has had had been hurt a couple times too, but they're saying Robinson or Robertson?
Robin.
Like Robinson is coming back probably sooner than Julius Randle, maybe sooner than OG Anobi.
I thought OG Anobi was back in.
He was, and then he hurt his elbow again, and they're not sure. Apparently, it's clean. The MRI is clean, but they haven't given a date. But it's supposed to only be a day or two. Let's hope that's the case. I think it was just he got it banged, and it's the bruise from an injury operation, and it hurts. And they got scared. It's okay.
I would have.
But Brunson's
guy just came back.
Brunson had a high ankle sprain, took a game or two off, came back, became the first, I will repeat this, became the first Knick guard to go back-to-back 40-point games, to follow it with a 34-point game, to be the first player since who? To average 40 points over a 3-game span.
For the Knicks?
For the Knicks.
Ewing?
Maybe. I have to get the dates right. He was one of them. There's another one.
Before or after?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm similar time, but they never played together. I think just before.
Bernard King.
Forward, Bernard King. Okay? Only other players in Knicks history to average 40 points over 3 games.
I'm surprised Frazier didn't do that.
Frazier averaged 30 over a 10-game span, I believe they said, which was the longest of that, but not 40. It was very rare for 40 points in his day to come around because they played defense back then, which they're playing again now, okay? Because people are in the stands and they got to play defense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. All right. By the way, no side effects, nothing except large proportions.
So, all right. Well, that's good.
Okay. So that's the Knicks, baby. So we have, I believe, 15 games left. We're in the 4 seed by 1 game, but the team following us does have the tiebreaker over us. Very few do, but they do.
You just don't want to be in the 6, correct?
Yeah, you don't want to be past 6. Yeah. But you definitely want to keep the 4 because you have home court advantage at least a game. So it gets you rolling. You know,
okay.
So you definitely want that.
Okay.
That being said, you know what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The Knicks, baby.
So, you want to go to baseball or football?
I believe briefly touch football because baseball is big. It's
briefly?
Getting
okay. So, the free agency period has opened up. Oh, a couple of things. Hold on.
Oh, you got new info.
So, the first thing is, and this is a little catch up here, the New York Football Jets This was their logo.
Okay.
This was the 1980s logo, and they put it on this past season, what they called their legacy uniform. Well, but this was the uniform. And then they decided, the hell with that. That logo right there is now full season, full uniform, no special occasion. That
Wow.
is on the side of the helmet, the jerseys from the Sack
Really? They're
Exchange
going
era.
the 80s style looking Jets to the rescue.
Now, so that's first thing. Second
Okay,
thing,
I like that. I like that. A little change is good.
looks change is good.
Yeah.
They last year, as we all know, they had something that the label said offensive line, but in reality, it was an offensive line.
Highly,
So we got rid of
highly offensive.
highly offensive. We
HOL.
got rid of
You know how you're
three
driving,
guys.
You know how you're driving in the cars and it says the HOV lane, HOV, and it's high occupancy vehicle.
So
Jets had
we
HOL.
we got rid of three
offensive
guys, sent them back to their security jobs over at Walmart. We thanked them for their service last year, but they're
That's
gone.
very good. One of them will become a doctor. They have doctors now at Walmart.
We sent our bust of a pick, Mackay Bust Becton. He's out. He's gone.
Oh, he's
By the
signed,
way,
I thought.
he's still looking for a job.
He's not with the Jets anymore?
No, he's gone.
I don't think so.
Still looking for a job.
I
Guy
never
went
heard
to he went to visit the Bengals.
Yeah.
Then they said, thank you for visiting. Then they brought in Trent Brown and they said, here you go, Trent.
Sign
right there on the dot, sign on the dotted line. So he's still looking for a job. Meanwhile, the New York Football Jets went out and signed the top free agent offensive tackle and Tyron Smith,
Very
left
good
tackle from the Dallas Cowboys.
Very good signing.
Now our left tackle. We
Right
went and
tackle.
traded.
Right tackle.
No. Tyron Smith was a free agent signing. Starting left tackle for the Cowboys. Now our starting left tackle.
Uh-oh.
Then we traded for Morgan Moses, who was our right tackle 3 years ago.
And he was good.
Being our right tackle. Morgan Moses.
Good, by the way.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And next to him, his teammate from last year, John Simpson. So those two guys played together with the Ravens the past 2 seasons.
Wow.
They're still together, except now with the Jets. Tyron Smith is on the left. Vera Tucker goes back to guard where he belongs. And we got Tippmann, who will be in his second season at center. That offensive line already leaps and bounds better.
Is AVT ready?
I assume so.
But they haven't said no, right?
They haven't said no.
Okay.
So
Gone out and
offensive line looks
they
good.
haven't gotten a left guard, right?
What's that?
They haven't gotten a new left guard or anything.
I just said they did. John Simpson.
No, that's a right guard.
No, AVT's playing right guard.
Oh, well, then how are they playing together, the other two guys?
Simpson is at left guard. Moses is Simpson's Simpson's at left guard next to Tyron Smith. And Morgan Moses is on the right.
Okay.
Next to AVT. And then Tippmann's in the center.
Let me tell you something. If they're healthy and we get some good, strong people behind them just in case, this is not just an improved line. This could be very, very good.
This could be, if they stay healthy, top 10 line.
Yeah.
Top 10.
I say it right away.
Now,
so, Aaron Rodgers comes back healthy after he comes out of the Costa Rican Mota jungle. And RF baby.
Yeah. Now listen.
I love you, baby, but I'm playing football.
We today,
yes.
Los Angeles Charger wide receiver Mike Williams is visiting the New York Football Jets.
Uh-oh. I
He has
like Mike.
meetings
I
scheduled for
like Mike Williams.
tomorrow.
Mike Williams is an SC boy. I like him.
He is meeting scheduled with the Steelers tomorrow. We'll see. And
Listen,
then
if I'm playing behind Rodgers or I'm playing behind Russell Wilson at this point, I'm going for Rodgers.
well,
Russell Wilson carries a lot of baggage. I don't think he's going to carry it into Pittsburgh. I think that was
no,
smart for Pittsburgh. I'll give him that because Pickett was not the answer.
no. So he's
So
in today.
most importantly, is Zach going to meet with him?
Who? Who's Zach?
ZW, baby.
I don't know who that is.
Starting quarterback for the New York Football Jets.
That's Aaron Rodgers.
The second guy behind Aaron Rodgers.
That's Tyrod Taylor.
The guy behind them that anchors the base.
That's it.
Zach Wilson, baby.
Never heard of him. So
So he's not meeting with
Mike
him.
Williams comes in. Now, here's the other one, and I'm not a fan of this.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm ready.
They went for this guy last year. He almost signed with us, but then got an offer from the Ravens he couldn't refuse. He's a friend. God knows we need another one of these. A friend of Aaron Rodgers. Plays wide receiver.
OBJ? Or LBJ? Which is it? L or O?
You're right. LBJ is the dead president. You're right the first time.
Oh, okay. OBJ? Really? I thought he had a 2-year deal over there at no, it was just a 1?
1-year deal.
I can tell you something. He improved that offense over there a great deal. I mean, because he made some catches that and I listen, I'm going to go on record for the 18th time. While I think he's a great guy, while I think he's an unbelievable athlete, I do not think that Lamar Jackson is all that in a bag of chips. I'm sorry. But with the right guys around him and everything, he gets better because he's not accurate anywhere past 20 yards. Under 20 yards, he's fine. And running wise, he'd be in the conversation of the best running back in the league if he was a running back. You know, there's no conversation about the best runner because he is as a quarterback. But I don't buy him. If I'm OBJ, I want to play for the Jets.
Well, if I'm OBJ, all I want is the biggest damn check they're going to give me. I don't want OBJ.
You don't. Okay, why not? Give me those points because I've got hot breaking news coming in here. It looks like. So here
it is. This is not the Odell Beckham Jr. of the New York Giants when he was incredible. Okay. This is the Odell Beckham Jr. who gets hurt, plays 6 to 8 games.
Yeah,
and then disappears.
That's a good point.
Done.
I don't want him. Mike Williams. And Mike
he's
Williams
a number 3 receiver.
Yeah, and
who
Mike
thinks
Williams
he should be a number 1 receiver.
So.
He's not.
No. Mike Williams, on the other hand, he demands double coverage if we get him.
They look at him and they go, "Oh, there's the old man." So
I'm talking about Mike Williams.
Mike Williams could get double coverage.
That's what I'm saying. He's a big dude. And when it get down, and here's what the Jets haven't had since they've traded Gastineau. Not Gastineau. Hold on. Yeah, not Gastineau. The guy they brought over from Denver or something, not Denver, but some other team, and he speaks really well. He does sports casting now and everything. About 6'4", played for us for a couple of years.
Brandon Marshall.
Thank you.
But he played for the Bears. Decker came from the
Denver.
Broncos.
Right. Okay. But since we've had Brandon Marshall, I'm going to say we haven't had that guy in the red zone to go in there and just throw the ball up high. Garrett Wilson can do it because he can leap like Michael Jordan, and he's got hands that I don't know. He might have the best hands in football. I don't think there's only 2 or 3 guys in the whole league that can stay with him. Justin
Anyway,
Jefferson, maybe.
that being said, we'll see if they sign him. The draft is in 2 months. Well, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6
So
weeks.
who do you think we're gonna do? First of all, I think we're trading down and
I would love to.
picking up more. I think we are.
I would love to.
But are we gonna pick up a quarterback, our third quarterback, you think?
No, the only way that happens is if we actually do trade down. If we actually trade down and get a second round pick, and one of those 2 guys, either Knicks or Penix, are there, I wouldn't be shocked. But trading down is hard because you need at 10. Is there somebody that another team is so must have that they got to jump? Now, the Raiders are at 13. The Broncos are in front of them at 12. If one of the quarterbacks, if Derek May is sliding down, which he could, and they want to get one of them wants to get ahead of the other, maybe. But I don't know, man. I think that's a tough spot. So
who do you
my
see?
guess is,
who do you see? What's your guess? What are we going?
There's 1 or 2 things that are going to happen. Actually, that's not true. There's 1 of 3 things that are going to happen.
Okay.
First thing is we take either one of the offensive linemen, either the kid from Penn State, Fashanu, or the kid from Oregon State, Fuaga, because Joe Alt, who I'd love to get, is never going to make it. Or if the wide receiver from Washington.
So one of the guys won't be playing then that we just talked about.
That's correct.
If this
you can't sit there and say we're done. You need somebody.
You need 6 linemen. You need 6 linemen.
Then
and unless 2 centers. 6 linemen and 2 centers.
Unless they go with and if he may not even be there, the kid from Washington, Rome Odunze, at wide receiver, they take him at 10.
Is he related to Romo?
Oh, okay. Never mind. So then this is the one that 2 things. I don't like it at all. And the second thing is it's very likely it's such a Jets thing to do.
If you don't like it and you're convicted of that, we're going to get it.
That's right, because it's a Jets thing to do.
Yes, Jets.
And that is...
Oh, wait a second, boys and girls. Steel libido. Peak
performance.
Magnum blood flow. And just to remind you, Magnum is what I wore in my day of open fields. Now that it's a single field, I don't need the Magnum anymore. But that's what I had Magnum blood flow. And I still have Magnum blood flow.
So,
who is it?
Kid from Georgia, the tight end, Brock Bowers, is probably the pick they make, and I lose my mind.
But he's pretty good.
I'm not saying he's pretty good. He is good. You don't take a tight end in the top 10.
Yeah, that's crazy. Unless you got Kellen.
That's a Jets move.
I mean, I don't even think Kellen Winslow went in the top 10. Did he?
I don't remember. I don't know. The last tight end that they said was all world that went number 8 overall.
To the New York Jets?
No. Kyle Pitts for the Falcons. And he has been pretty good. He ain't no top 10 pick. The New York Jets were the ones who passed on, I think it was Warren's. No, wait, that was pick number. That was somebody else. They took Kyle Brady. That was a horrific tight end pick.
Great pick. Isn't he still our starting guy?
Parks Cars.
Oh, he's not playing?
No. Anyway, that's it. And that's it.
That's fine. Let's switch. Because, ladies and gentlemen,
post St. Patrick's Day,
the nephew of Steve Cohen, Jets wise gal.
Post St. Patrick's Day.
Look at that. Look at that. Now, oh, that's beautiful. Now, the Blanchard part of my name comes from Ireland, and I am an Irish bloke from Blanchardstown, just so you know. I'm mostly Arab, but I have a little wee bit of Irish in me. And I've put that wee bit of Irish other places too. You know why?
Well, that's why you need that stuff.
There it is.
Because it's the wee bit of Irish.
A wee bit of Irish pulling back. The Arab. Okay, let's go.
So spring training's been underway.
Let me tell you something. That pitching staff has looked not good, but fantastic.
No, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. I'll tell you who also has looked pretty good. Klay Thompson's younger brother, Trace Thompson, rookie,
yeah,
30 years of age, rookie. He's looking pretty good.
He might make the team.
He might make the team.
He might make the team, and not because it's like, oh, the last guy to make it, but because he's looking like
he earned it.
Yeah, he earned it. But I'll tell you something. Diaz has been on the hill 3 times. How many hits has he given up? How many batters have even had a chance? What's the main outcome of someone who steps in against Diaz?
The backwards K.
That's right. Good night. Good evening. No, good morning. Good evening. Good night. As the way he's looked. He looks great. This is a different, Mets, Tim, Mets Tim Guerin. Well, no, he's Tim Ryan, but he's married to the Guerins, part of your clan. I don't know if he converted or not. I think he did, but there, Chappelle, the head of it was the gentleman from the many different, he wrote the book, Witness to the Truth, which is all about the Holocaust. And he was actually there in escaping death narrowly like 6 times. And he ended up being the guy that MacArthur deeded in those days Israel back to the Jews, because they'd been there for 3,000 odd years. And he's the one that built most of the infrastructure that was rebuilt and everything like that. Would have been his grandson-in-law, but Nathan died a couple of years ago. What a wonderful guy in his 90s. What a wonderful guy. A multi-billionaire too. Could have bought the Mets for us. I was working on it. Steve Cohen did instead. Thank God. That being said, he's a statistician, like by nature, like a historian, he's very, very happy with the numbers and the rolling out of what this new pitching staff did. He said, Mark, this may be the surprise of all baseball, is how good this guy, David Stearns, has put together, not just the bullpen, which he's an expert at, because that's what he was known for in Milwaukee, having a bullpen of no names that were lights out, like one after the other, except for their one, Josh Hader at the time, who was all world. But we have Eric Diaz, who is the best. Eric Diaz is the best. No. What's the face for now?
Well, you had the first letter correct.
Evan Diaz.
So close.
Ernesto Diaz.
Oh, you're getting further away.
I'll get it. It's not Ernie. Emmanuel.
Let's put it this way.
Evan Diaz.
His nobody calls it. Okay.
Sugar Diaz.
That's his nickname.
That's what I'm talking about.
But his name isn't like your dad. His name is not Edmund, but his first initial is ED. It's
Eddie.
No, what do Mets like to do? Do they like to lose, or do they like to what?
Win. Edwin Diaz.
Hey.
Okay, there he is. I should have known that. I did know that, but I was just playing games with someone. Edwin Diaz. He is the best closer in baseball.
Pretty
That's
damn
it.
good. Pretty damn
Okay?
good.
Now all the other people are fitting into their prospective roles like they're supposed to. We have an overflow, which is good because we need a fifth pitcher.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
I'm feeling good.
Anyway, you got any
Not
pearls of
happening.
wisdom?
None of our big bats are batting over the Mendoza line in the preseason. None of them. And McNeil hasn't even taken an at bat yet in a game. Apparently this week. No, bicep. Not his elbow, the same arm. He had tightness in his bicep, so they backed him off. But that happens after surgeries. You get tightened in it because you're not using your arm for months and months, and you got to work it back out again. He probably just picked up weights and made strength and didn't decide to, hey, you know what I got to do?
Well, also he's got him and his wife have I think a 1.5-year-old or
Yeah, so
something.
you're holding it in the arm like that.
Like he's holding something in his arm.
Yeah. I know what he's holding. But I can tell you something. I had that in mind, and all we did was, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then let's pretend this was the baby on the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We moved there.
Yeah. There you go.
Or we moved to the floor.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Whatever. But it
Pearl
had
of
to be
wisdom?
done. Had to
Pearl
be
of
done.
wisdom?
Oh, come on. It's a year and a quarter,
Year and 2 weeks.
year and 2 weeks.
Let's hear it.
The pearls of wisdom. Okay. What are we in right now? Do they call it? What's the season, as they say?
Tomorrow is the
Begins.
first official day of spring.
And what's spring about?
Flowers and life coming back and all that good stuff.
Regeneration.
Regeneration.
Things go like this, and then things go like this. Well,
Yeah, flowers come up.
In the spring, all the good deeds that the universe has had get soiled over the winter time, get buried, there's a time of let's say exhale.
Okay.
Then you take a big breath in of life. And the sun shines, and the clouds clear, and the flowers blossom. It happens every single year for billions of years. It probably happens out there in the universe, billions of different ways. Why does mankind forget that change is essential? Why does mankind lock down amongst each other imprisoned ideas, pushing down winter over the head all the time and coming out afraid, letting it blossom? You know what would blossom? If you took a Jewish child, you took an Arab child, you took a black child, you took an Indian child, you took an American native child, you put them all in one little ball of soup over in some beautiful little mountainous and sea bordered area. And you didn't fill them with hate. And you didn't fill them with you're wrong, I'm right. You didn't fill them with all the repression of the winter season coming down on your head. All you did was say, hey, kids, go out. You know what they would do in the springtime? They'd be the little flowers that grow. They'd love each other. They'd see that just like a dog goes to another dog. He doesn't go, woof, woof, you're a black dog. Woof, woof, you're a pink dog. What are you? They don't like each other. They learn that. But that's not from anything to do with the imagery up front. So it's springtime, my friends. It's awful lot of this going on, not with those little kids I just discussed, but with full adults. And you don't do that kind of stuff. You don't.
Well, listen, if you don't take that and you don't get that, There are no little kids.
and there is no spring. It's because it's sprung.
This
All
is
right?
spring.
So you need the spring. So in this spring, beginning tomorrow, let me give you a little piece of wisdom, my friends. Follow the flowers. Follow the blossoming. Look at the fields. They're blue and green and red and orange, and they're beautiful. They come together like Jet Steve Wisegal. Wait, who am I? And Broadway Blanchard. Thank you. And Broadway Blanchard, also a bulbul. And together, that's what it's about. Spring has sprung, my friends. Follow the course, follow the ford, follow the rivers of dreams, and take your libido red. Okay. And by the way, they make it for women too, just so you know. I have, and if you can, it's not considered a roofie if you slip it in your wife's or girlfriend's, breakfast meal. Doesn't alter the mind. It alters.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been yet another magnanimous first of the new season. Spring from, hey, how about that pearl of wisdom? Huh?
How about that pearl of wisdom?
Okay, let's follow it. I'm game. Are you game? Who are you? Who are you?
This is Jet Steve. That's Broadway Blanchard over there.
Thank you.
And that is what you don't understand is, and as usual,
we
will see you.
What is it?
Next time, real soon, something.
We'll see you again in the springtime.
Adios.
Adios, my friends.